Hey guys, so this video all started with a TikTok that I saw. I saw a toddler cutting up a banana for their snack on their own little cutting board with their own little chopper. So that is what my goal was, but really this can be adapted to any cutting board you're going to make. It's going to be super basic, one piece of wood. You could use this as a charcuterie board or a cutting board if you wanted to. If you just follow the steps, you'll be successful. You just want to make sure everything's flat if you've got a planer or a jointer, or if you make sure that you buy your pieces of wood flat in the first place. Because this is for my toddler, I did keep a few things in mind. So this board is really, really thin because I didn't want it to be too heavy for him to move around. So it's only a 1/2 inch thick. If you're making this for yourself, I would probably go a little bit thicker. The other thing is I wanted to do a cool shape so that he would kind of recognize it and think it's cool. So we went with a dump truck. I looked at a bunch of different shapes, but my kind of third thing that I was keeping in mind was I wanted it to be able to fit a banana on it. So that's kind of where I got stuck with the dump truck. It was the only shape that I found that I felt like he might recognize and that would also hold a whole banana. First, we're going to start by tracing out our silhouette of the image we want to use. I wanted to stretch this truck out a little bit just to make it as big as possible and fill up this sheet of wood. Then we're going to head over to the bandsaw to cut our shape out. If you don't have a bandsaw, you can absolutely do this on a jigsaw, like just a simple handheld jigsaw. I did pick up this bandsaw off of Facebook Marketplace, very used, for I think under $100. So if you're looking to build a shop, Facebook Marketplace is definitely your friend. Once we have our silhouette cut out, we are going to do a lot of sanding. I used a little block sander. I also used rasps that I wrapped some sandpaper around to get into the tinier places, like you can see right here. And then I remember that I had a Dremel multi-tool, and that really sped things up on this, but it isn't necessary. Again, you can do it without this. Once we've got everything sanded, at least all the edges sanded, we are going to head over and put a little profile around the edge. I just did a really, really slight round over on this one just to kind of break it up a little bit. And then we are going to use our Orbital sander to sand down the front and the back of the cutting board to make sure it's smooth. I like to sand cutting boards down to at least 400 grit. Then once we've got everything sanded, we can add our butcher block oil. I always use Howard's butcher block conditioner for this. I'll leave a link down below in the description to where you can get some. This is also really great to use if your cutting board is just looking a little bit old and you haven't conditioned it in a while. I try to condition all my cutting boards at least every few months. Now we're going to start on our cutter. I just kind of did this a little bit abstract. So we just head over to the bandsaw and knock off our edges. Then I'm gonna head over to the belt sander and we're gonna get our profile all figured out. Then we're going to get our edge grinded down so that Ryan can use this as a cutter. You can see I did on both sides. I drew a line where I wanted these two edges to be so I could kind of keep an eye out and make sure that they stay right where I wanted them to. I created a stencil using the Cricut, and then I got one of the little wood burn markers off of Amazon and filled it in. You'll see when we remove the stencil, I have a little bit of bleed out around the R. We might redo it later. Just more practice. Then once we've got the stencil removed, we're just going to use a heat gun and we're going to heat it up until his name turns a dark black. And then we just use the butcher block conditioner and spread that out. Do a few coats whenever you're using this stuff. Set it for like 15 minutes and then wipe off the excess, give it a little bit of time, and then do another coat. And here you go. I've got it all done. The little man cuts up his bananas at snack time using this. It's been great. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, give us a comment down below, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.